Hey there everybody, Eric from Outer Limitless coming at you today with another video. Now in today's video we are going to look at this Sofirn SC31 Pro flashlight. This to me is a flashlight that at this point I've been carrying for a few weeks and I have come to greatly enjoy this. And in the past we have taken a look at quite a number of Sofirn products. Each and every one of them has been excellent. But again, this one to me is one of my favorite to date. In those prior flashlights, we've looked at everything from the large throwers and heavy duty hitters to the smaller pocketable EDC flashlights and everything in between. And this SC31 Pro being that nice size, just perfect pocketable EDC flashlight. But with that said, I have a whole bunch to talk about and a whole bunch to show you. And if you're interested in seeing a little bit more about what I'm about to get into, do me a favor, stay tuned. Now before we get too far, I would like to say thank you very much to the people at Sofirn who did provide this product for review. And so as I mentioned, I have looked at a lot of different models of Sofirn light. And what I can tell you is I've been kind of watching them go through a progression, and very similar to a lot of other brands, but Sofirn, I have to say, is doing a very nice job. I feel like they're listening to the customers and they're making little minor tweaks to their flashlights to constantly improve them. And what we have here is a nice, refined form factor with great programming and a USB Type-C charging cable connection. So all in all, the function, the fit, the features, and everything about this is excellent. But what I really like is how this melts into my pocket. It's about as small as you can get for an 18650 battery powered flashlight with good throw and excellent programming. So with that said, let's take a little bit of a closer look and we'll get into the details. And so now as we get into the details, let's take a look at everything that comes with the SC31 Pro. So very typical to Sofirn, just the typical packaging here. You'll see most Sofirn lights that I have received have come in a very similar box, at least for the EDC style. And as you look at the side here, you'll see SC31 Pro 5000K, so a 5000 Kelvin temperature light, which is nice because that's pretty much like daylight. It's not too warm, it's not too cool, it's perfectly right in the middle. That's where I like my lights. In fact, that's what I use for my studio lights here when I film. So very nice. And that does give you the ability, if you want to use this for some additional, a little bit of illumination, maybe for photography or video work or something like that, which is kind of nice. So anyway, the SC31 Pro, just having that 5000 Kelvin, I definitely like that. But as we continue on here, you'll see it comes with the manual, a USB Type-C charging cable, and a lanyard, which for me, the lanyard, I have yet to ever really use the lanyard, but they do come with it. I'm sure there's some people that would use that, but for me personally, I just use the clip. You'll notice that as I unscrew this here and remove the battery, you have here your Sofirn 18650 3000 milliamp hour battery and 3.7 volt. And I've had a number of these. They do perform well. I've had no performance issues whatsoever with my Sofirn batteries, and I feel like Sofirn does do a good job with their batteries. And going through this, the interesting thing is you will see, and I do like sometimes when flashlights do this, for a smaller flashlight, you can actually take the body and you can spin it around. And what that does is it allows you to have a bezel up or bezel down clip, which is nice. So for me personally, I do kind of like to have my bezel down, but if you're somebody that likes to take a flashlight and something of this size, which is fairly compact overall, and clip it to something like a ball cap or even like a pack strap, you could certainly do that. And it works out pretty well. So no problems there. The threads do go on nicely. And as we reinsert the battery, one thing you will notice is that there is an illumination on the switch. So as I thread this in and get that into place, well, there you go. A little flash and a green illumination on the button there. So pretty cool. I like that because you can see it at night. It's real easy to find. And what I have found that for me is it's really nice where if I put this in my pocket with the clip facing this particular direction, as I reach into my pocket and grab the flashlight, well, my thumb automatically indexes right on that power switch, and that is nice. And I know a lot of people are going to say, well, I don't really want to feel the clip. Personally, for me, I kind of like it. I like the way the clip just indexes in my fingers. It feels nice, just indexes well, and I can get my thumb right on the front switch, which is very comfortable. So overall, I like the size, I like how compact this is, and I think this flashlight just really does feel nice in my hands. Generally speaking, again, very nicely machined, nice knurling. Sofirn does a great job with their machining. I've never had any sort of burrs or any problems with any of their machining ever, and all of their tolerances do seem to be quite tight on all the models that I've seen. Now, when we go through the mode features, it can be kind of complicated. I want to let everybody know that because this is a pro model flashlight, it does have a ton of different programming options. But the way I have it set up right now, single click there, well, this is going to go into whatever your memory mode was. So as I click it once, it's left off on the mode that I had it set. Now, if I long press and let go real quick, that's going to go into the moonlight mode, which on this flashlight is 1 lumen. And then a quick double press, well, that's going to go into turbo, which for this 18650 flashlight is 2000 lumen output. This has a beam output distance of roughly 200 meters, and that gives you a candela of about 10,000, which is nice. That's a pretty good punch for a small flashlight. So that means this is going to be a nice performer, and what I really like is you have 3 quick modes that you can get into without messing around. You either long press and let go to get that moonlight mode. You press 1 time, and that's the memory mode, which is great. And you double press, and that's going to get you to your turbo. And that's what I'm saying about this Sofirn light. I greatly enjoy the programming. That type of programming is definitely my favorite, because if you just want a little bit of light so you're not killing your vision and you want to read something, no problem. Your typical navigation at a single press gets you around where you need to get to. You can walk around inside your house, you can walk around your property, and you can even illuminate some things if you need to see what's going on. But then a quick double press and boom, you're at that turbo mode, which is going to allow you to really see what's going on. If you wanted to use it for, I would say, a self-defense purpose, that would work well to help blind somebody. And even at that, just for general purposes, I find that all the time I need to switch between the 3 modes. That's nice and quick and very, very easy. But again, if you single press, like I said, this does have a memory. So looking at it here, if you long press and hold down, well, you will see it will go all the way stepped up and all the way stepped down and incrementally in between. But this, again, is a flashlight that has many different ways you can program it. So for me, I would typically leave this up a couple notches and turn that off. And that would become my intermediate mode for the single press as I navigate around my property. But let's just say you want infinite adjustability. Well, what you can do is with the light on, triple press, 1, 2, 3, and it flashes. And what that does now, if I long press, well, that's that infinite ramping mode. So you'll see there, it gives you just a little bit more granularity in your overall ramping. Is that necessary? I don't know. But that Firefly mode there, that is just super, super low. That's a little bit lower than I want, but a lot of people do like it. Again, triple press, 1, 2, 3. And now we're back in that stepped ramping mode. So it's not infinite adjustment anymore. And for me, this has really seemed to work about the best. That's kind of how I like this, and this flashlight set up just the way I need it. Now another example of a specialty mode, if you click 5 times fast, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, well, a little blink there, and you'll see this becomes a momentary press. And if you like that, that kind of works. It doesn't necessarily get me what I need, but it is cool that you can do that. And to undo that, basically unthread the tail cap and thread it back on, and now you're back to where you were. And that again is in that sort of stepped mode. So for me, that's where I had it set. And for the strobe modes, you're going to do 2 clicks, and then the 3rd click you're going to hold. So click, click, hold, and you'll see there, now I'm in those strobe modes. Now the camera frame rate doesn't show this too well, but this is a very fast strobe, even though it doesn't look like it on screen. 2 clicks, 1, 2, that changes the strobe mode. So you'll see multiple different strobe modes depending on what you want to leave it set at. Another 2 clicks, And here you go. That's called candle, which is kind of like a weird sort of beacon. That's a bizarre one. Another 2 clicks. And I'm not sure what that is. 2 more clicks. Little flash, triple click, but that does sort of like a triple beacon. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's a little hard for you to see. I will demonstrate this more on my hand. I think that might be easier for you to see. Another double click. That's an alternating pattern. And another double click. That is super blinding. That's my tactical mode. And a single press and it's off. And you're back. So when I need to get into that tactical mode now, click, click, hold, and there you go. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. So very quickly and easily, you end up with a number of different modes you can get to pretty fast. So let's get outside now and do some beam shots. So it's a nice bright snowy night today. You're already going to get some decent light here. It's actually incredible how light out it is. But we'll use the flashlight to leverage this. So if I long press and let go, well, that's going to go into my lowest mode, which right now is, and that looks more than 1 lumen to me, but I think that's what it said it is. And if I turn that off, and then I single press, well, that's going to be sort of that medium setting that I had set up halfway up the ramp so I can get around and navigate. And then when I double press, well, there's my turbo. And that's what I'm saying about this particular flashlight and this type of programming. I greatly enjoy the fact that you end up with 3 quick modes you can get to super quick and no problem. But then the strobe, if I turn this off, 2 clicks and a long press, 1, 2, bang. There you go. That is like insanity. So that is really going to disorient somebody, and that particular mode for the strobe is awesome. And then overall, the throw on this, I mean, I'm not going to cast too much light around here because, again, it's snowing and it's kind of crazy out. And it's not going to be the best, but this flashlight's nice. It is just a great little pocketable EDC, very functional, and it performs extremely well. So alright guys, there you have it, a look at the Sofirn SC31 Pro. Again, I'd like to say thank you very much to the people at Sofirn for providing this for review. I am quite happy with Sofirn products. Each and every one of them that I've had to this point has been wonderful. Everything from the build quality to the programming, the battery life, the overall features and functions. I think Sofirn's doing a wonderful job, and that's definitely the case with the SC31 Pro. So alright guys, thanks for stopping by. I hope you like what you saw. I hope you found it a little bit informative. If you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for stopping by. Take care now. I'll see you soon.